Hello and welcome to Valley Farm for a monster preview of the Ladbrokes Friday Night Lights season launch. Joining me to go through a full black type card of racing is the resident Rayman from Ladbrokes. Rayman, AFL Grand Final, NRL Grand Final and Moir Stakes Night. It is truly one of the great weekends in Australian sport.
It certainly is, Benny. One of the great weekends of the year. Moir Stakes Night, always one of my favourite race meetings of the year as well. A great buzz, a great atmosphere at the Valley. And this year, we could see a couple of genuine superstars in action on the Valley circuit.
Well, race 5 is the Group 2 Entry Education Stud Stakes. Looks a tricky edition of the race. Who'd you find on top?
Yeah, definitely think it is a tricky the start stakes here, Benny. Griff is the favourite with Ladbrokes at the moment, $3.30. King of Fighters, $4.60. They both come out of the Exford Plate, which I do think is the right form line. But I think King of Fighters can turn the tables on Griff here. Still a maiden King of Fighters, but hasn't done anything wrong in its 3 race starts. I really like what it did last start in the Exford Plate. I think it's well placed here to turn the tables on Griff, who's drawn a little bit tricky barrier 10. Just not sure where it gets in the run. I'm keen to be with King of Fighters on top here, but going fairly wide in the quaddie here because I do think there's a fairly open race. So for the quaddie, we'll take number 1, Griff, number 2, Fists of Fury, number 6, King of Fighters, number 8, Verdad.
Race 6 is the Group 2 Ladbrokes Stock Stakes. We get to see what is easily the best horse in Western Australia. Can she be one of the best horses in the country? We're about to find out this spring carnival. Her name is Amelia's Jewel, and I think she's impossible to tip against here. Last start, she resumed and won arrogantly in the Let's Elope Stakes, letting rip down the crown of the track and displaying that customary turn of foot under minimal riding. Trainer Simon Miller jokingly went to Twitter and said she's been dealt the visitor's draw again, but I think barrier 10 of 11 here is fine for her, and the way the track will be racing with the rail in the true position, those run-ons should get their chance looping the field. There looks well above average tempo here, with Deny Knowledge and Pride of Jenny setting the tempo out in front, and that usually brings out the best athlete in the race, which is her. Up to 1,600 metres, I think she can only improve, and she's won out in the quaddie for me. Number 8, Amelia's Jewel.
Is the Group 1 Moir Stakes. Always an exciting race, and this year we could see a genuine superstar in action. Imperatrice has opened as the dominant odds-on favourite with Ladbrokes. She was $1.70 when markets opened. She's out to $1.80 now, but she is clearly the horse to beat here. Her victory in the McEwen Stakes was one of the most visually impressive wins I've seen in some time. The way she changed legs on the turn and just finished over the top of some of the best sprinters in the country, and she did it on the clock as well. It wasn't just visually impressive. She ran serious time, broke the 1,000-metre track record at the Valley held by Nature Strip. It was as impressive a win as I've seen this spring, and if she replicates that again, they won't beat her in the Moir Stakes. I think she's clearly the horse to beat. Uncommon James is the horse they're back to beat her. He's been $6 into $4.50, the Oakley Plate winner. We know he's a very good horse on his day. Asfura is the other danger as well, in my opinion. Was very good first up to win at Caulfield, but in my opinion, Imperatrice is right up there with I Wish I Win as the best sprinter in the country. I'm taking her one out in the quaddie as well.
Race 8 is the University Food Group Scarborough Stakes, and I do think this is quite an even group of fillies, so that's why I'm tipping 2 horses at double figures. The first of those is a Godolphin filly, but it is the one longer in the market, the Freedman-trained Osmar. First up, she easily handled a horse named Olsonzo, who was subsequently unlucky behind a potential Caulfield Guineas runner in Wolfie at his next start. She then went to Sandown, got back, over-raced, and still won, the sign of a good horse. She's crying out for 1,200 metres, and she draws barrier 2 for Jordan Childs. The other horse I'm tipping is Coevalent, who was as big as 50-1 in the all-in markets for Macaroni. I think they've got her at her right price now at a fraction of that price. She was desperately unlucky on debut, but made amends at her next start with a barnstorming run down the Sandown Straight. She ran the third fastest 400 to 200 metre split of the entire meeting there when she really put the race away, and now she gets Blake Shin from an ideal barrier in 3. In the quaddie, I'll go with number 1, Skirt the Law, number 2, She's All Shenanigans, number 5, Inhibitions, number 9, Osmar, and number 12, Coevalent. Well, Rayman, it's best bet time. What can you give us?
I'm going with an each-way best bet this week, Benny, in the Ladbrokes 55-second challenge. Race 4, number 5, Rattle and Bang. Currently $17 to win, $4.20 the place with Ladbrokes, which I think is well and truly over the odds. Not a horse that wins out of turn, but has a great record at these short course sprints and has won the Ladbrokes 55-second challenge in the past. I think outside of Unflinching, who's got a big weight here, that's the knock on Unflinching here. I think it's a pretty even edition of the Ladbrokes 55-second challenge, and Rattle and Bang always runs well at the Valley. So happy to be with race 4, number 5, Rattle and Bang each way at the big price.
And for what it's worth, I really like Brave Mead in race 2. Thanks for joining us again on Valley Form. We'll be on the quick backup next week for BC and A night.